not believing in the Alchemist. We've seen Spectre go 0-1 today, and Alchemist is 1-0. I think that says enough about who's going to win this game. Now, the one thing I have concern about Beastcoast, based on what I've seen in the first 2 games, is their laning stage. They talked about it on the panel. And you have Ember versus SF in the mid lane again. I think Leo Styles kind of been dunking on Chris Luck, not necessarily by virtue of skill, but by virtue of favorable matchups, and both of them being good players, he's naturally going to win them. And Ember versus SF is real rough. So I expect Leo Style to take advantage of that, and I'm concerned that they're going to have all of their net worth on just this Alchemist. And we saw it happen last game. Alchemist was able to carry in the first series, to be fair, when he was the only one with net worth. But it really boils down to Hector in the first game carried. In the second game, I don't think Spectre's that great at it. Will Alchemist be able to out-carry, outpace this Spectre when his mid laner is most certainly going to have a rough time? We'll just have to find out. But they are going to do an aggro tri-lane on the side of Beastcoast in order to, I believe, not only pressure the Spectre, but also enable their Beastmaster to have a better start, because he would have struggled bottom.
Yeah, I pretty much agree on all fronts. Beastcoast obviously have struggled in their laning phase today in the first 2 series, as you mentioned. At least in the first series, Hector was able to pull through on his Alchemist, but had Thunderpetter probably been more in tune with their game and tried to close things out sooner, that game 1 could have ended pretty different. So we'll have to see if Beastcoast can, at least try to make things a bit more even in the laning phase to make things easier for the Alk later on, or if they're just going to have to put this back onto the shoulders of the Alk. As you mentioned, aggro lane on the bottom to really add that pressure onto MNZ if possible. We'll see how successful they can be in doing so. I expect the other lanes to be a bit more of a wash, though. Top lane Whisper, it is a 2v1. And he'll have to deal with the pressure of the Chen nearby.
He did level his axes, which I've been experimenting with myself. It's an interesting build because the magic damage does make axes do more damage to creeps, because creeps have 2 armor but 0% magic resistance. And it also is good against heroes with more than 6 armor. It is more damage. So it just gives you a little bit of mixed damage. Beastmaster was previously all physical, and now with the Axis build, he's a bit of physical and a bit of magical, which enables you, with this Necrobook build up, the double Sage's Mask, to actually spam these Axes if you need to. They do rotate the Spectre.
Yep. They leave Snapfire alone.
And they'll eventually give him some help, but sometimes it feels really weird to TP 2 different cores, because if Puck TP's in the bottom with the lane pushed like this, it's just bad for him. He's going to TP in, it looks like, to help his Snapfire potentially make a turnaround kill here. Cookie Stun is out. No mana on Matthew, though. Frank does not have a mango to give him, so he's just going to walk away on Schofield.
Yeah, the wave was so far pushed forward, not in their favor to really have any sort of capitalizing moment there. So they'll have to settle as it is, and they continue to shift these lanes about, getting Puck to that bottom lane. I don't imagine Beastcoast are going to continue to try to shift things around themselves. They'll settle for the lanes as they are and just try to force Frank back as much as possible, while Chen in the top lane able to work with the camps on the side. Whisper is just going to have to mind his positioning a bit. He doesn't have a ward or any sort of vision to see any trouble coming in from the side, but it could come at any moment like here.
Both carries absolutely free farming. Mid lane's not going all that bad for Ember, but it definitely does not get better. Oh! Wow, that was sick.
Yeah.
Tune in just in time to see that triple raise combo from Leo Style. That third raise, it chunks, man. That hurts.
Beautiful. Beautifully done right there. And almost on cue, as you were saying. It does not get any easier. That will not help the case at all. But, Leo Style, comfortable with the idea of taking advantage in the mid lane. He's done it pretty much every game so far. It's about being able to follow through with that advantage.
Fortunately, he had just hit level 4, and he had not put his point in Necromastery yet, so he hadn't gotten the max souls out of that kill. But still a brutal kill there. As the lane, once he gets level 5 on SF, I don't think Ember can walk up anymore.
All right, Clock's taking the business to the top lane to help scout out Chen as far as what could be happening there. Things are not going to be too unknown for Whisper as far as what's happening on the side lanes there. And like you said before, it just pretty much leaves these cores to have free will and farm in the early on. Not too much call to action coming out from the other supports. At least they just don't have much to offer at this point in the game. They're not really early action supports, I guess, to find connection.
Oh, he's going for the triple raise again mid.
Ooh, chains back, raises there, but just shy on the damage.
He actually puts out a decent amount of damage with that. He has the Splinter Blast to finish him off, maybe. Oof. Not quite enough.
Still had the 6 charges on the wand, and was disciplined enough to hold them just in case. Still holding him maybe for a baited opportunity with Matthew nearby.
You can't even walk up anymore. That's what I was saying. Now that he's level 5, waves on his hill, he's just going to keep it here. Force Ember to have to go jungle. Then he's going to shove the lane in, so Ember has to come back. And then he's going to pull it back again, so the Ember wants to leave. And he's going to do this little tug of war with him. Mess with him with the mind games a bit.
5-minute runes coming up soon. MJZ wants to control the northern territory. Layla's at the bottom, but Frank is right there too. Both sides really going to be adding pressure for this one. Schofield tried to swing by, but he'll just go all the way over. But you know, it looks like Thunder Predator do grab the majority at the top. But it's Beastcoast and Thunder Predator getting an even split on bounties at the end of the day.
Converts the boar. Surprised he's maxing out the boar. Usually against Chen or Enchantress, you just either leave it at like 1 point or you just don't level it at all because they just take it over. And suddenly your skill is just completely useless and handed over to the opponent team.
Yeah, that's a fair point. But it looks like something he's not really caring too much about at the moment, but should be worried. Matthew's nearby, so they have 3 to this top lane again. But there's also going to be a possible convergence for Leo Style in the mid lane, too. I see Schofield heading that direction. Oh, he's kind of weak. He can't do anything here.
Now this is going to let Ember jungle. He is almost level 6 on Ember. Maybe once he gets that, they can look for a kill.
Oh, careful!
Oh my God!
Leo
Not
Style
another one.
burns him down. Only 2 raises necessary for that one. Meanwhile, top lane, they're making the move for Whisper, coming in from behind. Matthew. Beautiful setup right there.
Off to another rough start.
Thunder Predator.
Beastcoast.
They may lose their Snapfire, but it will still cost them another. That's 3 kills on the side of Thunder Predator for the exchange of 1.
This Spectre already has treads soaring and 700 gold towards a Radiance at 6.5 minutes. 43 CS and 2 kills. That is a yikes. We were talking about this pace of the game maybe being too fast for Spectre with his Alchemist, but so far Spectre seems to be keeping up just fine.
Which is frightening if you're the Alchemist or on the Alchemist team. Typically that is his bread and butter, to be kind of controlling all of the greed and net worth this early on. You know, which given his innate passives will allow him to do so, but with Spectre getting so much, that just doesn't bode well in the big picture. So we'll have to see if Beast Coast will turn their attention towards this top lane at some point to kind of keep her in check. Otherwise, you're going to be seeing supports kind of hanging around, not really offering a lot to contest. But this time they have Leo Style now rotating to the bottom lane. They want to address this mighty Alchemist, and they're going to hit him up. Frank sets it up with the coil. 1 raise is there.
Oh,
the other raise
so
not quite.
close.
He is too fast, and he is running his way up the river. Rotations are coming, and they're going to bail him out. He is just fine. That first rotation from the Shadow Fiend, Thunder Predator to the bottom, is not going to prove successful, where they've been great and successful up to that point. That's got to be great confidence because you know, Hector might be able to return to his farm without having to deal with too many threats coming his way. You have Coil on cooldown, and the Shadow Fiend is probably going to be chilling for a bit.
Rushing a Spirit Vessel. Frank is on the off-lane puck. Or a 3-position puck, shall I say, because the lanes were a bit swippy-swappy here. Trying to counter that Alchemist plus Wyvern heal.
It does take away the mobility factor a bit, but I guess feels is not going to be too necessary. A couple of chase heroes that he could have to fear from that, but the utility seems to weigh.
They're wrapping behind him bottom here. Has Coil again, and Haunt, and the Cookie behind.
Try to go for a TP, but
kind of a bit of a panicky TP there.
quick cancel out, and we'll have to succumb
and
to
they
the
give
gank.
it to the enemy carry.
Very nice. 1,600 gold built up towards that Radiance.
Spectre has almost the same net worth as Alchemist. That is scary for the Alchemist. When he revives, he's going to have the same net worth if he doesn't miss these CS. Okay. He missed 2 CS in a row, but nobody saw it, so we're fine. But I saw it. We do have level 6 on Beastmaster. Yet to level his Roar for some reason. He's holding his skill point, but...
Yeah, but the opportunity's there. They've only had Chen in this top lane. I mean, Chen hasn't needed to be mobile at all. It looks like he's playing more of a greedier kind of Chen game, I guess, for now. Going to go straight for the mech, build up the utility, try to get a fast level 6. But finally, Schofield's scouted him out. No follow through with it. Frank's back now, and that puck does have coil up and ready if they want to just try to keep taking fights while it's good. It's also near 10 minutes, so there's going to be a fight for runes and the outposts. Top, looks like Roar's been committed. Hard shots onto Chen with the follow-up of axes. They should easily sweep him down. Frank's also here, uses that urn, tries to go for Schofield, but
he
Schofield
misses the
heads
raise.
up north and away, and they're not going to get the catch. Now Leo style stepping into action. Right click, right click. Need more nuking power, but they don't have it. Whisper's going to make it out. Lots of rotations, but not too many casualties. Just the Chen to fall. And what about Chris Luck? It's been a quiet game here for our Ember friend. I know he's had the tougher matchup going against the Shadow Fiend in this one, but he is still the secondary core to his team. Obviously shadowed by the tremendous farm that the Alchemist is able to pull in, but he's trying to make it work, and it looks like he's got a Blade Mail on cue for the Ember.
This is his default build, based on what I've seen in him in pubs. He really likes that Ember Spear with the Blade Mail. Kind of just shoves himself up in your face and says, hey, if you want to hit me, I dare you. Meanwhile, I'll be flame guarding you down.
But pressure's on mid lane. They got the catapult.
He's
Leo
invis on
Styles
Ember.
right clicks, but there goes the jump from Schofield with the hook shot. That makes an easy target, though. For Snapfire, just unleashing the ults. Leo Style unleashes one of his own, and Chris Luck is cleared off the playing field.
He's going for the right-click SF build. He has the Treads Yasha. Probably Manta, or okay, he's going BKB first. I don't mind it. You have a Spectre carry, a hero that doesn't really do that much physical damage since he's going for the Radiance first. By the way, already has 3,000 gold towards his Relic. Top lane is chasing. Does catch the Beastmaster in the coil.
But is it defensive? Is it for Leo?
I don't really know.
Eats
We're
the
going to find
roar.
out.
Remnant's in. He's going for Frank. Leo's going for Whisper. Whisper makes it out south from there. They continue to chase forward. They'll get their finish, but Chris Luck and Schofield jump in on the action, and on a wild Laylis from the right-hand side, even committing his own ulti. How much are Beastcoast going to be firing out, and for how many losses? Chase is on for Chris Luck. And ultimately, he will fall. Frank scores the double kill. It's 9-3 Thunder Predator with just as much of a commanding early game advantage as they've had in the last 2 games. But this one feels even more serious. This Spectre is ridiculously farmed.
Yeah, despite the fact that it's less of a net worth total lead, they are against Alk, so 1K is worth a lot more than it appears to be because Alk is obviously inflating the net worth of the Dire. If you look at the distribution, it's Alk, 3 Radiant heroes, 4 Dire heroes.
Soon it's going to, if Thunder Predator are able to advance themselves across the river, start clearing out these tier 1s, then really it's just going to be Alk with whatever remaining breadcrumbs of farm are out there. The rest of his team are unfortunately going to have to be on standby. All right, bottom lane. There's another coil. While the coil's up, let's make something out of it here, says Frank. They move in. Leo Styles up in the front, hits him. Bop, bop, boom! See you later, Beastmaster.
I like how active he is on Shadow Fiend. It just shows how much he's played this hero. You see he's the Platinum level Dota plus. Very scary to play against Leo style Shadow Fiend. Always wins his lane. Makes good use of that early momentum from the winning lane.
Shadow Fiend's got to be one of the more swag heroes to have a Platinum ranking on, you know?
Oh, absolutely. He must be close to that master tier by now. I don't think I've ever seen a master tier Shadow Fiend.
Damn. Is there any other hero you think would be more respect if they had a master tier of?
I'll get back to you on that one.
Yeah, Chen. I guess Chen, some supports can just diehard Chen only, or Wisp or something like that. But
Yeah, maybe Wisp. But SF's definitely like one of the most skill-based heroes.
okay, Schofield on the back end of a smoke. Frank's thinking about pressuring forward, but could it be a false sense of security? Is Whisper baiting them back into something more potent? Doesn't seem it. The core is elsewhere, farming on up. This just might be a bit of a pause tactic to try to slow Thunder Predator down as much as possible, but Thunder Predator came to play. They're looking to get rid of all these free towers. More money for Leo in the pocket.
Alchemist does have a Radiance of his own plus a Mithril Hammer. So looks like BKB's second item. Maybe Maelstrom, but I just say that because Hector loves farming. I hope he goes BKB.
And Radiance just nearly complete here for MNZ Spectre without that gold bonus.
That's for Spectre, that's super early Radiance. Usually Spectres are getting it maybe 17 minutes at the earliest, and he's going to have it at 15 and a half. He's 303, 120 CS, 15 minutes into the game. Going to have it from these bounty runes.
And then they'll have the ult Radiant Spectre to fight on this bottom lane. Boom! 3-person coil connection. Here comes the Snapfire ult. There goes Leo style. They don't even need Spectre's ult.
They're going to get it
They're
now.
going to get it anyway, though. They're going to go for the cleanup.
Come out.
And they're going to get it.
And he's on this Clockwork right now. Check out this Clockwork skill build, Dakota.
Oh, that's a lot of rocket. Not a lot of anything else.
Spirit Vessel already complete.
Re-jumps back in. But
Ouch.
oh, they shoot down the Alk, and like you mentioned, with the benefit of that vessel, they're not going to be able to heal it up. We'll go ahead and check out the action yet again.
Great coil to
Coil
start
is
out the
fantastic.
fight. The Snapfire ultimate is such a good follow-up, and then the fear to make them break the coil. Oof.
Don't even
Such
need
a good
Spectre
combo.
for any of that. But then the Radiance does get picked up. She joins the party and then really begins to clean house. All that's left is Big Bad Alk and Clockwork, and they have plenty of necessary tools to deal with the problem.
Yeah, SF Puck, SF Mars, they're just some sick combinations with that fear utilization from the ultimate. And already seeing why he needs that BKB so bad. He's only 400 gold off of it, being forced to participate earlier than he wants to on the Alk, slowing down his timings even more.
He's back to farm, but you know, for most of Beastcoast, they're kind of stuck congregating all together. No one can really go out on their own, and we could just continue to see their economy just crash at this point. Just Alk, and then everyone else way below. You got some great utilities picked up on Beastcoast's team with your Beastmaster Pipe and Blade Mail and such, but you know, who do you got to jump in and start the action? It's just going to be the Clockwork. And I fear for the follow-up. They have to have enough burst to take it down, you know, Thunder Predator with the benefit of having Chen right there in the back lines. I feel like it's just going to be too much. Okay. Coil, just for Wyvern. Quick earn. There goes the Snapfire ult.
Catches him with the last
snipes it. Overshoots it wonderfully there, and they're going to get that takedown, but Leo Stock could be in a better trouble. There's the cookie into the ult. Not the greatest of damage with the BKBs coming out in full force. Schofield now steps up, gets a beautiful catch onto 2, and allows K1 and company to move in and go for the finish. Leo Style now getting forced back up into the high ground. They're chasing forward. Hector wants it so bad, he's going to give his own life for it. Chris Luck looking to clean up the rest. Is able to help in getting down Frank, but he loses his own life, and this is still going to be Thunder Predator's fight. Schofield, at least I got a regen. Takes it with him back up the mid lane, but as we look at the recap, it's still much favorable gold exchange for Thunder Predator and XP, and obviously damage.
Yeah, Spectre's just getting out of control. Already has a full Yasha done. Working on that Manta. Haunt wasn't even used that fight. It wasn't even off cooldown yet. Still a dead Alchemist with that 10-second BKB timing. In my experience, Alchemist, when he misses this BKB timing and they're already losing, it's pretty rough. You have to pretty much win like 4 or 5 fights in a row relatively convincingly. You don't just have to win them, but maybe go, 4 for 1 kind of convincingly winning. Spectre is just going to keep farming, keep accelerating, because she can show up to any fight from anywhere. And Alchemist, in the meanwhile, yeah, he's an Alchemist, but Coil.
Yep,
Once again onto the Wyvern. I love how teams are starting to just prioritize this Wyvern hero. When that hero is on the other team, it has to die first.
Yeah, too much save factor. BK piercing ult that can just cause chaos. It's better to remove the pesky dragon out of the fight, and that is now going to allow Thunder Predator to easily coast themselves into the Roche pit. I don't imagine Beastcoast can offer too much of a defense. The Wyvern would be up in time, and if they happen to be around and wanted to make a hookshot play, maybe.
He's got the low cooldown flare from the max flare.
Let's see. Oh, they're going to spot it. They're going to go for the body block. No, they're just going to straight up chase him down. Don't even think about it. Don't even look at the pit. And you know what, better yet, just remove all witnesses from the vicinity.
Laylas is out of position as well. They daggered him.
Oh,
and he's going to go down too.
Just all the more and the merrier for Thunder Predator.
And all the meanwhile, Leo Style just killed Roche and got the Aegis.
Yeah, Thunder Predator more than content at this point. Leave their Spectre to farm somewhere on the side. She can happily come into the action with her ult once it's up. But the other 4, what would you like to see from the other 4 in Thunder Predator? Do you like to see them continue to be on the offensive whenever Coil's up? Or, hold on. Now, they might find themselves on the bad end of this approach. Snapfire feeling really confident. Oh, I love it. Cookies MNZ in to go for the stun, but it may not turn out so cool. Oh, no, it may not.
The fear.
Leo Styles here, but the hook shot cancels the ult. Bump forward. MNZ can't really get a grip of what's going on. Has to backpedal up to the high ground in a way. They are able to get the finish onto Schofield, but here comes big bad Hector, and he's chomping away on little old Chen. Meanwhile, MNZ catches up with Wyvern. The chase is on. Chris Luck going to be there, and they are going to secure the Spectre kill, or not. Yes, they will. Woo! Another cookie could have almost ditched out a clutch save. Leo Style trying to make the most of it, but that heal is just too much. Ultimately, though, the Rays will get the job done. It cost them their Spectre, but Thunder Predator can arguably say they still make a better exchange.
Once he gets that Manta, it's going to be so much harder to kill him. Their main source of catching him is the Searing Chains, as well as the Wyvern Slow, and even the Beastmaster Roar, which is hard to roar when he has a Manta, because he'll usually Manta as your mid-animation of your roar. So got to be careful. That looked pretty sick with the Snapfire cookie into stunning 2 heroes, but he ended up putting his Spectre out of position and pays the price for it.
Yeah, not even a move that I am sure the Spectre was ready for, but
yeah, you could tell he was a bit surprised when he runs the opposite direction after getting cookie. He just wasn't expecting that to happen.
But certainly could have been a lot worse for them. Thunder Predator will back off from the trouble from the aggression for now. Their net worth even for both teams, but the story is essentially the same. Most of that net worth being on the back of the Alchemist, while Thunder Predator have a better spread of their economy, with both Shadow Fiend and Spectre kind of leading out the front. It's impressive how much Leo Style is pretty much neck and neck with the Spectre at this point. He's been obviously much more proactive with the fighting. This guy is 8-0-7 on the Shadow Fiend thus far.
Yeah, you can tell he was going to go Manta, and then he got this Aegis, and he's like, well, Daedalus.
We'll go for the damage.
Misses the coil on to Schofield there. Pretty low cooldown, so not a big deal, but, miss every hook, miss every coil you don't use.
Yep. Outpost. Challenging Schofield. You want to go for the outpost? Don't you dare. Thunder Predator are around now. In the neighborhood. You still obviously have Spectre hanging around on the other side, has the Haunt at the ready to come into play whenever possible. Ooh, bump in from Centaur. Very nice. Gets the stun, and Schofield gets locked down. Matthew going to be firing out the ulti onto the back lines with Frank, trying to get the snipe onto Laylis. Laylis with that urn. That should be enough of a burn. And that's 2 to go down. No buyback for Laylis there. Meanwhile, the ulti comes out. Where's Spectre going? Mid lane. Caught up with Hector here. Oh, nice. A haste rune.
That was incredibly convenient.
And see you later.
Meanwhile, top lane, they're just forcing it in. 3 heroes dead from the Dire side. SF hits like a truck.
Yeah, Pink is all the way bottom. Just got the TP up now if he'd like to make his return. And there he is. And that might be the call for Thunder Predator to back off a bit. Oh, jumping onto the Golem. Schofield, bit of an awkward spot. Gets himself caught with the coil. Now they're both caught within the cogs. Jump in. Oh, Hector did not like that. He did not want to be caught up in that mess. It will cost the clock his life. Hector's wounded, has to backpedal inside. Thunder Predator will take every little bit of free gold that Beastcoast are willing to hand out.
I like the priority from the supports. When you're against Alchemist, just buy Sustain to outlive his Radiance, especially when you're this far ahead, because the Alchemist right clicks are just underwhelming. You have the Greaves coming out from Chin, and you have the Pipe Vlads coming out from the Snapfire.
Check out
you
the
see
replay.
here, Clock hooks into not really knowing what he's hooking into, I believe. Does get the Centaur stop onto the Alchemist. Doesn't want to pop his BKB. Ends up having to pop it just to survive. And that's just pretty much Thunder Predator toying with Beast Coast, even though Beast Coast initiated that fight that I'm not sure they wanted to take.
Yeah, what does that say? Does that say desperation at all from Beast
Kind
Coast
of
to try to make those plays?
You're just fumbling to see if throwing the noodles against the wall and seeing if they stick or whatever, Hope something works. At this point, there's no rhyme or reason sometimes. You just have to make something happen.
Yeah.
Something's better than nothing at this stage when you're in the spot Beast Coast is in. Yeah, you're only down by 4K, but as we've already talked about, you have an Alchemist. That 4K net worth is much less efficient on an Alchemist than it is on most heroes. So it just accentuates that lead even more.
Everyone takes a moment to step back and get into the farm, and suddenly we're just drowned in neutral items. So everybody's going to be coming back to the fighting table with some new toys. Saw Titan Slivers. I just see now Agnums coming out. The first Agnums coming out for little Alk. Who did he give it to? Did he give it to anyone yet? Nope.
I would have to assume it's probably going to be Ember. Or just Beastmaster for the infinite access.
And does he have the mana pool to sustain infinite access?
Nah, Soul Ring it up.
Yeah.
Bloodstone.
Chop, chop, chop. That's great wave clear. Yeah, he roars up, finds a Snapfire nearby. Can they burst her down? She'd been a big factor in these fights.
No buyback.
Follow-up coils there. And Hector tries to swipe away, looking to go right for Leo style. Leo style eating way too much damage, unable to offer anything as he just gets shredded apart. Now this one going to be on the back of MNZ, who was able to get the clearing of the Beastmaster. Now Chris Luck and Hector surround MNZ.
What is happening?
And get that finish. Man, Leo style unable to do anything in that fight. He was stunned for so long.
Yeah, the Alchemist at this point does have enough net worth to just man up on him. That's the fear you have on Shadow Fiend. You didn't have Aegis, took most of his health and damage during the Wyvern ulti, and wanted to channel that Rec Room, but realized he was actually just going to die to the BKB Alk hitting him if he chose to finish it.
Wow, look at this. Suddenly, your mid-racks could be gone, just like that. They have no coil to work with, no haunt to work with. Leo Styles out for 30 seconds.
Pretty crazy. The first game looking pretty similar to this one. Even the second game, Beast Coast in a game where they were pretty far behind, showed signs of life. This one honestly looked the most hopeless out of all of them at the stage we were at, due with this Alchemist lineup, but earlier today we did see the Alchemist in a pretty even game end up coming out on top despite everything we talk about with Alchemist net worth being inflated.
That was fantastic for Beast Coast. They took out the Snapfire at the start of that fight, which is pretty huge. You know, the Cookie had been so clutch in a lot of these skirmishes. Her ult had found some great
Really good
snipes and
follow-up
good
to
damage.
the coil. Yeah.
And they just didn't have that. And they felt totally scatterbrained. And again, Leo style, just a sitting duck that whole fight too. Without having that utility, without having that extra damage, there was no chance for
Even
Thunder
like
Predator.
the pipe Vlads coming out from that Snapfire is a pretty big deal for these fights.
Yeah.
The armor, the ability for the Shadow Fiend to just hit the Alchemist back and lifesteal his way to safety. But there he was just forced to retreat, and you saw it. He has Daedalus SNY. He hits real hard, but
you have to hit.
Yeah,
You have to hit if you want to hit hard, and he didn't hit anything in that fight. He just straight up was locked.
Looking to go again on him here.
Nearly in the same spot as we see Beastcoast kind of rounding the corner for maybe a catch of a flank. A flank onto Frank, if you will.
I see what you did there. Abyssal Blade almost done for the Alchemist. Does have it now. That's really scary.
Oh,
He hits
look at
for
this.
350 damage.
Thunder Predator are able to get the top outpost just in time. It will not be neglected that XP, but Schofield did try to come over to take it back. But bottom is where the situation is a brewing here, as Tier 2 does fall for Beastcoast. Do they feel like charging forward? No, it doesn't look like it. They'll take this a bit easier, knowing that with that recent exchange, they are in a much more comfortable position. The game was pretty even before, even considering it's just, you know, Alchemist being the big catfish. Now it's a 4K net worth advantage. Ember slowly creeping up there, but this is still the Alk show. Has he been able to put together another Ags? No, it looks like he's going for some a bit different. Scotty.
I guess against the SF, he just wants to be able to man up.
Did he give that? I guess he didn't even go for the Agnems at all. I don't even see the Agnems.
Yeah, there's no way he had
it.
enough. Somebody else on his team would have skyrocketed.
All right, jump in. This time it's going to be
Why
Thunder Predator looking to make the call, and they immediately take out Laylas. Here again, Leo style, a bit trapped and stunned up. Can't get out from the trouble. Tries to run out and away. And the follow-up stun is going to be right there. Again, Leo style, going to be muscled down. Chen to follow next. This one's just on MNZ now for Thunder Predator, but he is getting surrounded and chopped apart. Looks in for Schofield, but look at the bashes come out. It's just too much. Another stun, more right clicks, another bash. Get the hell out of here.
East Coast is doing it again. No buyback on either of those two cores. Bottom racks, maybe even the throne for the taking.
Oh, damn, this one got flipped on its head real fast. You would not think so looking at the overall network, but dang. Here we go. Hector working his way through, what was at first a little bit of backdoor, but
He hits hard, he hits fast with that ultimate pop. Lower base attack time. Cleaving up that wave with that level 20 talent.
yep. And Chris Luck can just clear out the waves just as fast.
What
Got the
approach are they going to
Maelstrom.
take? Are they going to back or are they going to force the issue?
Oh, well, looks like a little bit of both. Chris
Looks
Luck
like
goes
they're
back.
content. They're going to take Roche, I think. They see the illusion. Oh, no, that's a Radiant Ward. They are going to see the illusion rune, which Alchemist will enjoy, and they're pinging the Roche. 35 seconds still on Spectre. Haunt will be up when he's alive.
Second Roche. This one's got the cheese. Is it do or die for Thunder Predator? Is it do or die for the Roche? Is it do or die to just hold inside the base?
I think you just have to hold. I thought it was pretty do or die for Beast Coast, and then they did it. So they did.
They did and not died.
Not died, yeah. They give the Aegis to Chris Luck, allowing him to be much more aggressive in the fight, maybe hold on to his BKB a bit longer. Alchemist, I have to believe if he dies once, would most likely die twice, because he's probably dying only if the rest of his team is dead.
Yeah.
So no reason to give him a second life,
my
just gives you
gosh.
even more reason to ignore him. Solar Crest makes him attack even faster. He has 120 attack speed from the Solar Crest, as well as the Inner Beast Aura.
Oh my goodness. Look at the damage. Look at the siege coming.
This is a freight train.
This is a tower defense and a half right now for Thunder Predator. Can they hold the line? Matthew moves in. The Haunt comes out early. Are they trying to get a hold of backliners here? Trying to wipe out the Wyvern way out back if possible. They're successful in that. While they fight that out, though, it's Hector. He's got his eyes on the prize. He is chomping away at the racks. Gets the one down. Looks to go and secure the Megas. And
yeah, they just don't have the damage unless it's SF wailing on him, and he can't afford to stand toe-to-toe.
He's trying to wail on him now, but he can't. Yeah, like you said, the second he tries to walk in and take him in the melee range, it's just a whole different story. Now he
See you later, Chris Luck.
But, hey, mission accomplished if you're Beastcoast.
Yep, Megas. They don't have a gyrocopter or anything like that to defend these Megas like we saw earlier today.
So they're just running out the base.
Yep, this is go time. You know, Wyvern has no buyback. Only dead for 30, though. Have to hope Ember has no buyback.
Here they go. A whole minute before Haunt's back up for the Spectre. Oh, Arcane Rune.
Manta to push out waves, but I don't think illusions are good enough against Mega Creeps.
Yeah, it will slow them a little, I guess, but not going to stop them.
Just delaying with the Alchemist illusions there.
This is it, though. Game 3, Thunder Predator. They managed to take that game 2 and not allow Beastcoast to have the comeback factor, but that comeback factor is very real, and we're seeing it come back into fruition here in game number 3.
He's looking bottom. Frank gets the coil onto the Clockwork, who does just snap it immediately. Is stunned for 4.5 seconds, though, so his team has decades and a half to come catch up to this. And
yeah.
Spider Lakes from Matthew scouting out, misses the cookie, but I'm sure it's not going to matter.
No, I mean, if he's diverting the attention of Thunder Predator anywhere besides pushing into the base, that's fine. That is good. And that means Hector and company at Beastcoast can get back to the grind. They can hold out to have buybacks available for themselves before they even try to go for any final closure. This one's all on Thunder Predator to try to find that miracle opening. But 13K net worth advantage with the Alchemist way out in front. This looks hard, to say the least, here for Thunder Predator.
This whole series, I felt like Thunder Predator looked like the better team, but Beast Coast is pleasantly surprising me this game.
Certainly feel like Thunder Predator won the laning phase in all 3 games.
Drastically, too.
Yeah.
Not just like barely or, 2 for 1. It felt like 2.5 for 1 almost, or 2.5 to half. Silver Edge done on the Alchemist. Gets the jump.
Abyssal jump onto a little Snapfire here. A coil defensively just to stop them in their tracks, to stop them from chasing. MNZ thinking that maybe we should fight this. Moves on forward. The rest of the team not quite in agreement yet. Hand of God has to come out to bail her out, but the roar is there. And Hector is just trying to find the target to chomp off and finish. Stomp comes out. They're doing everything they can to try to bail her out, but it's not going to be enough. That's 100 seconds out unless she wants to buy back, and I think she will have to. Because Beast Coast got that one. Chen going to be out for good. He already used everything he had, and this should be it. Buyback, final hurrah for Thunder Predator now. See if they can steal this series back somehow, some way. But here we go, Hector jumping right on in. Okay, he did not like that. It did not feel good. He backs up and leaves Chris Luck to take it to him. And Chris Luck may have to be the bullet for this one. Oh, nice coil, onto 2. Hector trying to regen all that life back. But there's so many creeps inside the base that Thunder Predator can't extend themselves too far. And already they have to backpedal to get to the fountain to replenish the health, replenish the mana. But now they are chomping away at the Ancient here. What are you going to do? Hector pops the BKB and says, I'm tired of this stupid series. I want to end it here and now. But the glyph comes out and they force him back.
Wyvern Kirsten hit it.
Okay, Hector in a bit of trouble. His illusion's left behind, though, to get the job done. Almost there. The Wyvern's going to do it. And not yet. No, not yet.
40 health.
There goes Chris Luck. Get it done, Chris. There we